Hi, so today's video is gonna be really quick because I have Lollapalooza all weekend long. Woohoo! So I'm sorry if this disappoints you. I promise Monday will be better. But as you can see, I've changed my shelf, and it's a little bit emptier than usual because today we're talking about books. I've been meaning to recommend books to you all along, but not knowing who you are beyond this lens, it's kind of hard. So book recommending is kind of like gift giving. You have to know the person and do it right. So I found a way to do it without having to do it. So I created my own book tag. Number 1. A book that belonged to someone else before you. Well, most of my books belong to someone else before me, but I chose the last book my father actually gave to me. It's Frank O'Hara, 25 Poems at Lunchtime. It's poetry and I love it, and it's Portuguese and English. It belonged to him and now it's mine. Number 2, a book that you lost or gave away and had to buy another copy. I actually give away a lot of my books because I feel like it's a very personal gift to give. We have Sophie's World, and I've been fearing having to say this name for a long time. It's a Justin Gardner book. It's the best young adult book ever because it's also educational and really fun. It's about philosophy, and I actually had to buy this lovely English edition because my original one in Portuguese with the blue cover was kind of stolen from me. I don't know how. So yeah. On the Road. I don't really like this edition very much, but it is but it is the one I have. I gave my original copy also in Portuguese with highlights and bookmarks and written notes to a great friend of mine that went to Paris and never came back, and Sumeka, it was worth it. And The Unbearable Lightness of Being. I also gave away the lovely Brazilian edition that I had, and I kind of feel sorry for it because I don't think the person appreciated my gesture as much as I wanted, and I also really liked that edition a lot, but here it is. 3. A book you bought because of the cover. The Writers Club by Jonathan Coe. He actually became one of my favorite contemporary writers, so thank God this cover is amazing. I mean, it really is. Look at this cute picture. It also has bookmarks on it. Oh my God, I'm kind of destroying my books. I also had to re-buy this edition because I love this edition very much. It's not my original edition. It has the back's all broken down, but this edition doesn't exist anymore, so I had to go to second-hand stores and find it, and I love it very much. I lost my original one because I lent it to someone saying this book's your life, and they lost it. So, but I really like Jonathan Coe. This book also comes with a radio adaptation and a TV adaptation by BBC, and it has a second book called The Closed Circle. I have it also. I have a lot of Jonathan Coe books. I mean, like What a Carve Up and Closed Circle and Maxwell, and I just love him so much. Give him a chance, he's awesome. Number 4, a minimalistic book cover. We all know J.D. Salinger had like very minimalistic and colorful covers. So I'm presenting 9 Stories and Funny and Zoe. They are all very, very simple. I love Nine Stories, I love Fan and Zoe, I love J.D. Salinger, even though he became a weirdo later in life. I think that's the future for us all. But beyond the obvious, I also have another recommendation that is awesome. You should all have it, you should all read it. And she's amazing. She's an awesome artist and performer, and she makes movies and she writes books, and I just love her so much. I wish I could be like 1% of the person she is. No One Belongs Here More Than You by Miranda Julie. Number 5, a book you regretted buying. Well, this one, I'm sorry, it's Pygmy by Chuck Palahniuk. I don't know how to say his name, I'm sorry. But I wanted to read a Chuck Palahniuk for a long time, and I was reading a lot of book covers and this sounded awesome. Then I got home and started reading it, and it's awful. So if you want this book very, very much, I think this edition is actually lovely. It's up for grabs, you know, just say it in the comments and I'll send it to you, even if you live far, far away from me. Number 6, a book whose edition you're attached to. Well, I'm actually very, very attached to the editions I own, so if I give them away, it means I love you very much. And if I lend them to you, it means I trust you with my life. Some editions are very important to me, like the Writers Club I showed you. I had to buy another one because I lost the first one. But these two made my life. First, this is Brazilian version of Catching the Rye. It's a really, really old version. I had the same copy of the same edition, but one was really new and well kept, and one was the one I used to read. And the spine here is actually glued, but every time I think Catching the Rye, I don't think the amazing horse cover, which I have. 1 second. Here. I don't think this edition, even though I love this edition very, very much, I think this cover is an amazing art cover. It's for eternity, just as the book. I think, but when I think Catching the Rye, I think this edition. And every time I had to reread it, I reread it in Portuguese, even though I own the original version. It's just that this was the beginning of my teenage years, and this saved me from so much pain. And I read it like 6 or 7 times, and Holden became a really good friend, and I could never let him go. And I could never let him go because he's in this edition, and no other edition is gonna have him. And the Sylvia Plath Ariel. I know there's a more complete version. This is the Ted Hughes version, the original version that came out. I am very interested in buying the extended version, but I love this so much. My father gave it to me. It has an amazing art cover and it's worth it. Number 7, a comic book. So I actually have 2 comic books to recommend. The first one is Persepolis. I have the complete edition, but you can also buy it separately, and the covers are amazing, so I don't know, I kind of want to buy the separate versions just because the covers are amazing. That's how much crazy I have for books. But Persepolis is awesome. See the film and you will see that it is truly awesome. It has an amazing story. And Marjane is amazing, and it tells a story. If you're studying for your SATs, or how we say here in Brazil, vestibular, it actually tells a great story about Iran, and it could help you understand a little bit. So read it. And also, just to recommend a Brazilian author or authors, Day Tripper by Fabio Mo and Gabriel Bá. The art on this book's just amazing. I don't know what to say. It tells the story of our lives, you know, everyone's lives, and it's awesome. Buy it. It has in other languages, it's international, so I don't know. I guess it was translated. I guess it has in English, it was translated in many languages. So please, please, please buy it. They also have a Facebook page you can follow and they post new stuff. Number 8, a book that should be accompanied by a soundtrack. Actually, I own lots and lots and lots of biographies. I love biographies, and half of my biographies are about authors and the other half are about musicians. So all of these biographies should obviously be accompanied by soundtracks. And I have High Fidelity and Telegraph Avenue, and they should all be accompanied by soundtracks, obviously, because they talk about music. I actually wanted to recommend this book a lot, and I think it deserves a soundtrack. It talks a little bit about music, but it's not all about music. But even the parts that don't necessarily introduce music, they deserve a music, and it has a movie with an amazing soundtrack, but my mind soundtracks was even more awesome, so you should give it a go. I'm a little bit sick, so saying this name is gonna be hard. The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I like this edition, and it's an amazing young adult book. It's a modern day Holden Caulfield, sort of, but not quite. I'm not comparing the two, please, 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 I'm not comparing the two, but it is kind of similar, and it's awesome. Give it a go. Young adult, for people who like young adult. Number 9. A book you wish you could take part in it. Shut up. It's a Douglas Adams script for Doctor Who and has just been released, and it's amazing. And also Lord of the Rings. They all demand very strong physical action, and I'm not very good with physical activities. So being true to reality, I would choose On the Road, but I already showed you this book, so in order to change things a bit, I think I would choose a Jonathan Safran Foer book. Oh my god, I forgot to take it off, so here it is. Everything is illuminated. It has an amazing book. I would strongly recommend this book. It tells an amazing tale about family and then about searching for yourself and your roots, and it's also really funny, and I love this author. He has other amazing books. I strongly recommend Extremely Loud. It's amazing. It has a movie. It's not quite the same as the book, but adapting these kind of books, it's really hard. Jonathan Safran Foer usually writes 2-3 stories in one book, so it's hard to put it all in one movie, but it's worth it. So read the books, see the movies. This is actually the movie cover, and I don't like movie covers much, but this movie is so beautiful and this cover is so amazing that it's worth it. Number 10. If you met someone at the subway and they were reading a book, which book would it have to be for you to come and talk to them? Well, it could be lots and lots and lots of books. So I'm just gonna say one because I don't know, I just wanted to recommend this book and I chose it. I don't even know if I would go up and talk to the person. This was a trick question I invented for myself in order to just tell you about this amazing book. It's Cronopios and Famas by Julio Cortázar. You have to read it to understand it, and you will identify with Chronopius, and you will unfortunately identify with Famas, and it's just the best of prose and the best of poetry and the best of imagination and writing, and I love him very, very much. And I haven't read any other Cortázar so far, but I'm thinking about it. So if you have another Cortázar like Bestiário or Amarelinha, please lend it to me. I really want to read it. Yeah. And last but not least, number 11. A book that isn't a book. I have two, actually. This one, that is not actually a book, it's a tea keeper, and it has lots of teas in here. I take it to work because I don't like coffee, so I have to take my own tea to work. And this one, Grapefruit. This book actually means a lot to me, and I know most of you may have a grudge over Yoko Ono, but this book is so worth it. It's about it's not actually a book, it's a piece of art, and it commands you to do other pieces of art. It's a piece of art in itself, and when you do the things they say in here, you become a piece of art, and you make a piece of art just by doing it.